It's 8 o'clock in the morning. I just about woke up an hour ago and I was watching my channel. I gotta show you something. We've hit over 250 subscribers. I know it's, little, but I absolutely love this and I'm so thankful for it. So, hell yeah. Good job, guys. Seriously. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. It's a nice little gift to wake up to on Christmas Eve. Not only that, though, but you guys have been absolutely commenting like crazy, and I appreciate it, especially all the super helpful advice that you guys have given me. So in this video, I'm kind of going to go over a lot of the different comments. I'm going to edit this video fairly quickly because it is Christmas Eve. I'm just going to go over just a bunch of different questions to do with cybersecurity and Linux and everything else in my opinions of different comments and such, rather than trying to comment to each and every single individual comment. Comment is used a lot in this. Anyways, I think this is very possible what's going to happen on needing a subscription to even start your computer up at this point, or to actually use it. I know it's a humorous thing to say, but when you think about it, you're already paying for electric, then you're paying for your internet bill to actually access the internet. I mean, hell, there's even GeForce Now to be able to play any game that you want on a cloud computer, and now you have OneDrive for your files that were originally meant to be on your computer. I mean, who's to say that at this point that this isn't going to happen? So I think it's not far-fetched, honestly, as much as it is a joke. Next one is, what about keeping a dedicated PC for games, an entirely separate Linux machine for everything even remotely sensitive? I feel like this is definitely one of the routes to go, but at the same point in time, it's very costly, and you shouldn't even have to do this in the first place. I mean, you could segment your network and then just have a very specific dedicated computer to those said games. But at that point, you'd just be treating a computer like a console. And let's be honest here, who has the money for that? Let alone, you're still not really eliminating the problem, essentially. You're just, if you will, lessening the issue. Then Gary from Gary's Mod hates Linux for some reason. You have to play on special servers because he doesn't enable anti-cheat support for Linux. I recommend Ubuntu, but stay away from snap packages or lintmint, by the way. I just made a video in regards to Ubuntu on why I'm not going to be using it. But yeah, one of the reasons why they don't like Linux is because they can't lock it down, quote unquote. That's what they say, at least, in order for the anti-cheats to work properly. I don't know how true that is, considering Arc Raiders is one of the most popular games right now, and it has no issues on Linux, but okay. You can still make a local account if you flash your drive with 24H2 and an auto unattend. I'm sure you can right now, but the question is, for how much longer are you going to be able to do something like that? You can on Linux launch for Windows VMs to play games with the anti-cheat system. No, you can't. You used to be able to do that, but nowadays Easy Anti-Cheat, for example, as well as say Vanguard or whatever else, actually detects that it's a virtual machine. Now, what you can do, of course, is you can try and trick it to the best of your capabilities to make it think it's not a virtual machine, but at least in all the efforts that I've tried before, I can't manage to trick the anti-cheats. And if, for whatever reason, you're able to trick it, if it starts becoming known on how to trick it, then say a week later, it might get patched and now you have to find another workaround. So I would say you really can't. Not to mention as well, if you get caught with a VM because of what I just said above, chances are you can also get yourself banned, which is really stupid, especially if you have an account that's like 6 years old. Games with kernel anti-cheat are pretty much the only games you can't run on Linux right now. That's true. And if you're actually concerned about securing privacy, you shouldn't be allowing third-party code to run your kernel. Anyways, that's also true. Side note, I predict it will come out at some point that user files uploaded to OneDrive are used to train their AI. I'm sure anywhere on the cloud at this point it's being used to train AI. Honestly, I'd be surprised if it wasn't. I think the only cloud service that probably wouldn't be doing that is like Proton or something, but I don't even know if they have a cloud service. I think they do. Genuinely, what can be done here? Only thing I can think of is hacking the people that run the world, or outright overthrow them. Protesting in hippie fashion does nothing. The only thing that's very eye-telling to me is Cartnark. People only care about their property being watched when some guy at Walmart parking lot sticks a magnet onto their car while being filmed. Should we all be like Catnarks and hold everyone accountable? But how can we do that to the government? Not unless everyone hold each other accountable. It's not a matter of the government at this point even, because this is more so the companies as a whole. Companies have companies that are in every single country. Google has Google Russia, or at least it used to, has Google US, and so on and so forth. I mean, take for example, Apple. Apple, for example, has their security and their encryption, but then when you go over to the UK, for example, now suddenly they're not allowed to have their encryption by any means because the cops are saying that, hey, you're not able to, at least as far as I understand it. So I don't really think it's more so a government issue. I think it's more so a company-wide issue. And as for us, at this point, we have to be like what we're doing with gamers and show with our credit cards or our data, as stupid as it sounds. We should be able to honestly have a kind of bubble, and we only allow certain amounts of data to be able to leave and then enter, if you will, and leave and enter. Technically speaking, that's how it kind of works already, but it's not really as visible, you know? You don't really see it just fading away or being given, so you just press a tap and you're like, okay. It's the same psychology with tapping with your card. Instead of giving the money away, you're just tapping on the card, and so you don't get the actual psychological effect of giving that money away, so you usually spend more than you thought you would have. 423 is very off. It's just a handful of games with kernel level anti-cheat that won't run under Linux. 99% multiplayer games work just fine. As much as I hate to say it, this is also not true. Once again, there's a lot of video games that have anti-cheat, especially even the popular ones, I'd like to say, that simply just do not work. For example, quite literally on my own desktop, Rust. I love Rust, but yet the developers say that they'll never support Linux, that they don't like Linux, and anyone who tries and argues with it is basically stupid. League of Legends, for example. Now, that being said, because we're gamers, should we really have to say, hey, I can't play with my friends who really enjoy this game because I'm a Linux user? No, that's messed up. But at the same point in time, that's what we're being forced to do, honestly. So I don't know, guys. But what I do know is that you guys are awesome, and we're growing this community pretty fast, so I appreciate it. You're giving me more confidence, and that's meaning a lot, so just know that. Hopefully, I can enjoy Christmas tomorrow, so there won't be much of an upload, and I don't know if the day after, but hopefully I can get better at creating better content for you, and keep getting more experience / get better at talking. So until then, enjoy your Christmas, guys. Take care. And sorry that I obviously didn't cover the majority of comments, but I just figured this would be probably the best route to cover some of them. By the way, before I end this, you guys asked me a lot to check out Bazite. I think that's how you say it. I do find it really interesting. I'm really curious on it, but it's so new. I also have concerns on it. So I want to see how it rolls out and see how other more intelligent people say about it first before I decide to make it officially one of my operating systems. If it pans out well, then I'll probably end up eventually making it my main operating system, but just because my main OS typically is gamer stuff, but I don't know, we'll see. Anyways, see ya. Balls hanging low while I pop a bottle off of your chain swinging, clang clang, and it costs a lot. Bitch, I'm always at the guala, yeah.